So, ooh, it says we're live. Hello, YouTube land. I guess I should go to heck and see. This is how come I have all of my people know my technology skill set is pretty like not always on the ball because I'm like, are we live? I don't know if we're live. Maybe we're live. Matthew's here with me. At least the two of us are alive. Maybe there's probably spirits hanging around, I guess. Oh, there we are. It says we're live. Okay, cool. That's a plus. So welcome to everybody if you're watching. If you are here with us live, please go ahead and comment in the chat box if you want to. If you are here on the replay, chat below in the comment section because the chat box to the right is not active on the replays. And everyone, I am Soul Coach Michelle, your friendly neighborhood super woo soul coach and manifesting maven. And this is my glorious, wonderful friend, Matthew. And he's also going to be my client for the first time. He's never done a live stream ever. And so I am so honored, Matthew, that you trust me to lead you into live stream land.
I'm in your hands. I believe in your hands.
Matthew and I used to work together just because I always like to be transparent. It's not like I picked him from the audience. No. So the reason Matthew is here is because even though we did used to work together in a woo-woo shop here in Nashville, now we're both kind of doing our own thing. And I ran since starting the YouTube channel, like I started in 2018, but I didn't really pay any attention to it until like a week and a half ago. No, last month. It was last month I started paying attention to it. And I ran a contest saying, hey, in October, if you subscribe to my channel, click the little bell, and then go to this website and you sign up, you'll enter to win a free reading with me live streamed on YouTube. And Matthew won. Yay! Way to manifest a win, Matthew.
I was surprised. I will say I was surprised.
I was so excited when I pulled your name out of the hat because I was like, oh, I haven't seen him in like 2 years.
I've been following you for a while, though.
I know, but it's different. Like I used to see you at least twice a week and then like in person.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, he moved away. And I left my office space at the shop because of all the stuff going on and of the pandemic, not the shop. The shop is glorious. We love Aroma G's. It is awesome. If you're in Nashville, go to Aroma G's. It is like the woo-woo loveliness of the world. But anyways, we used to work there together and now we're like all over the place. So the reason we're here, other than Matthew winning this contest, is one of the things that Matthew and I have talked about on the regular is how some folks, when they go to have readings, because Matthew is also an intuitive. He's also an intuitive since birth, much like me. We have so much in common when it comes to readings and stuff. But we both have talked at length about how folks will come and be like, I'm scared to get a reading, because they're afraid of how it'll progress. They're afraid of what might come out. They're afraid that they'll get bad news. And I think both of us have agreed that it's mostly because of either readers that are a little bit on the scary side, the ones that are out there, or the Hollywood image of stuff. Don't you agree, Matthew?
Yeah, completely. And a lot of the, I say, unethical readers,
yes,
they don't have the best intention for the client at all.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have seen is like me and you were talking about the lines and psychic lines and things like that, is they want to keep them on the phone, or they want to keep them coming back, especially the ones that's like you're cursed and $5,000.
Oh my God, right?
Those are the best. Those are the great ones.
The what was it, Madam Cleo or Dr. Cleo from like the 80s?
Miss Cleo. Yeah.
Miss Cleo. Yeah,
she was on there. So yeah, it's nothing to be afraid of. And if you have someone who genuinely sets a good intention and is there to guide you instead of scare the hell out of you. Oh, yes. Can I say that?
Oh my God, we say the F word. Fuck. Okay, so there you go. Hell is okay.
Perfect. So yeah, it's like it all comes down to who you're dealing with.
Yeah, I think it does too. I totally agree with your statement about intention. Like, I try to go into it, like Mother Teresa used to talk about, like, don't go into things trying to help the masses. Like, just help the person in front of you with a good intention and an open heart, and everything's cool.
That
And
helps
that's
the masses.
right. It does because of the law of oneness. Like if one person is helped, you have the butterfly effect, you have the pebble effect.
Yeah,
And if everyone's connected and we're helping each other, that just makes it better.
right.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people miss that
I think so too.
out of fear.
Yes. I mean,
Fear
like,
makes us do stupid things.
oh, dude, it does make us do stupid things. We should do a whole other show about that.
That would be interesting. That would be a
Yes,
two-part thing, though.
that would be. We could talk about fear and how to, and then it would be like, okay, we need to do another show about how to not do this.
Yeah, and see,
Yeah.
my first step here is not fear with you. I've
Um,
hid. You know
and
I've hid.
I know you have, and I am so glad. And I honestly, I am really honored. I didn't even know, y'all. I didn't know that Matthew was like, you and I'm gonna join you as my first live streamer. That kind of trust makes my heart just sing. I just love you for that. Like, thank you for trusting me that I'm gonna take you out into the YouTube land with
Oh,
for your first outing.
I completely trust you.
Oh,
Completely.
oh, I trust you too. I love you so much.
I'm just nervous. I hope I do things good and we,
You're gonna be fine. I'm the one that's gonna screw this up if that's gonna be a screw because I'm the one in
No,
the town.
I doubt that. I doubt that completely.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's get our reading going because I know like you have stuff to do. You have people to help too. So because Matthew does his own thing in a little teeny weeny town
Yeah.
east of here.
Yeah, it's closer to Chattanooga
Yeah,
ish.
yeah.
So yeah,
See, and I love Chattanooga. They have such great little coffee shops and stuff there.
they're getting bigger. In
I
the downtown
know.
area by the aquarium, I
Mm-hmm.
got lost, completely
Oh,
lost. But I found the good neighborhood. So it had like all the bougie boutiques and coffee shops. And I'm going back if I can get my GPS
it's
to.
kind of like a Tudor looking, like isn't it like a strip of little Tudory looking things?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because when we go there, there's like a bakery. The last time we were there, because you're my puppy person, the last time we were there, we went to the bakery in the morning, and they have outside seating, like little patio outside, and we went and just got some croissant sandwiches or whatever, and we had Buddy, my puppy Alight, with us, the border collie. And so Darren and I were just kind of trying to figure out like how we're going to set up our breakfast. And we kind of put his leash, under the chair leg so he wouldn't go anywhere. Little did we know there was two ladies having breakfast like a couple tables over outside. And so we weren't really paying attention to him. And we finally get settled. I turn around and he's like not there. And I look and he's like staring at the women and they're feeding him because I'm like, he's not homeless. He's attached to me. He just is because he lies when it comes to food. He lies like a rug. So they're feeding him, and I'm like, get back over here, leave them alone.
He knew how to work the system that day.
Dude, his eyeballs. He's like,
He does the whole like a Sarah McLachlan commercial with the eyes and the
yes,
music. And yeah.
yes. He would be totally, and then he'd be like, and the little horn would go, and they would
Yeah.
cut and like go back, and he'd be like, I need a biscuit and a line. I need a line, and bring me a biscuit and tea.
I could
That'd be
see him
Buddy.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. I'm going to use for you the animal spirit cards. They're my favorite, but
Those
I
are
know that you're
gorgeous.
an animal person too.
I love
So
those.
I love these. And what I'm going to do is ask you as I shuffle, just like start thinking about what is it. And the reason again, we're doing this not just because Matthew won, we're doing a live stream so that everyone who's ever wondered what is it like to have a reading with people like me or Matthew that are much more that are not future tellers, but that we are soul guiders, I think and we're light workers. I think that's a better way to put it. And we do
Yeah.
readings that help you on your soul path so that you can make good decisions with clarity and courageousness and then be consistent in your manifesting. That's what I think. But anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle these. And as I'm shuffling, I want you, Matthew, did you come up with a question beforehand? Were you thinking about it?
Actually, I think I've decided just to let spirit tell me what I need to know.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't know what we need to know, and what we think we need to know, we don't need. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
that's kind of was. Yeah,
I totally get what you just said. I totally get, but I know you're like, did I just say that in English?
It sounded better in my head than it did coming out. So yeah.
No, no, it's true. I totally get what you're saying because sometimes, there's stuff going on, but there's so much stuff going on that you're like, I don't know which thing to ask about. And
Yeah.
my hands go like this, and I only have this much space, so I got to remember to keep my cards close to my everything. But it's almost like you have so much stuff going on in your life, and you're like, okay, I can't really narrow it down to like one or two questions, but maybe spirit needs to tell me which thing I need to focus on the most to
Yeah.
get control and clarity over my thoughts, because it's not over my life, because we don't really control what happens to us outside of us. We can only control how we respond, and thusly the vibration we want to shift and thusly attract.
Right.
Right? So, okay, that's a great way to put it. So we're going to just ask spirit, what does Matthew need to know right now? And so
That's
the way this will come out is I'm going to tell you, you're going to tell me when to stop shuffling. So I'll hold these up higher so you can see what I'm doing. And I don't do like the Vegas shuffle because these are really big and my hands don't work that way. And they would end up over there somewhere. So I'm just going to keep shuffling. And if something jumps out, I'll pull it. And otherwise, just tell me when you want me to stop and I will stop and pull. Ooh, there's a jumper.
I was gonna say stop right there.
Okay. Well, then that's good. So we have that one. Ooh,
Excuse me.
you're good. Mm. I know. This is like when stuff you don't want to hear your dentist say. Ooh.
Yeah.
Look what I found, a root canal. Okay, so the jumper card actually for you was the whale in reverse. Okay, and here's what we're gonna do. My normal readings when I do a 3 card is the main card, the first card, which is actually gonna be wombat, is the answer. And then the other 2 cards are supportive in the sense of it gives more definition and more clarity as to how to achieve what the answer card is.
Okay.
But you had a jumper, not a shock, because you're you. And I think so. And when I get a reverse card, a lot of times, again, the fear-based thing is when you get a reverse card, it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna die,
Yeah.
and it's negative, and all this nasty Hollywood bullshit. And to me, that's not true in oracle card reading. That is not true in tarot reading. Honestly, the reverse card, usually if you get a little booklet, especially with oracle cards, because all the oracle cards are downloaded from spirit by the individual channeling the deck. And so they'll write what a reverse card means. But in general, to me, when you get a reverse card, it's one of 3 things going on. Usually it's either I didn't know that, I forgot that I knew that, I knew that, and I'm ignoring the hell out of it because it scares the shit out of me. I'm guessing it's number 3 for you.
Yeah.
So, because it says trust the great mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is whale right side up so you can see it. Okay. And trust the great mystery. Whenever this card comes up, it's more affirming that the universe has your back. You remember, you watch Practical Magic. All of us woos love that. It's like the patron saint of movies for woos. And there's that line in there, you can't practice magic while looking down your nose at it. Right? And I don't think you're looking down your nose at it from the perspective that the movie was, where it was like you can't judge it and practice it at the same time. I think with you, the reason that card is coming up is to say you cannot look down your nose at yourself. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
While you're trying to do the work that heals the world. While you are trying to be part of taking the veil away from the mystery for the regular folk that work with you, you cannot look down your nose at yourself while you're doing it.
That is an incredible jumper card.
Sorry. I love the eyeballs, but like
no, it was like you're just when you said it's like a light bulb goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just that's a huge block.
Okay.
That you just hit right there.
We're gonna get better. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I need to put my hair back because I'm getting hot. I don't know about you. Do you get hot in your head when you do channeled and intuitive stuff? My head gets really hot.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's not just me.
The top of my head, my forehead, and my hands.
Yeah. Right now, it's kind of like right here.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like, y'all, if somebody's watching and they're kind of doing the intuitive thing, a lot of times your crown chakra and your third eye is gonna heat the hell up.
Yeah.
It I can't but the funny thing is, like, thank God I started doing this before I hit, like, my late 40s going into my 50s because I would think it was menopause, not like woo-woo stuff. So, just so you know, if you're one of us, you're gonna get warm while you're channeling energy. And also drink lots and lots of water because energy flows in water.
Yeah.
So now back to our don't look down your nose at yourself thing. So with that in mind, and that was your jumper card. So that's kind of an overarching theme for you. And that's what spirit wants you to know right now because they're excited that you are starting to do this work in a more open fashion. They're like, here's your broom, fly out the closet. Come on. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like your work here needs to be like so on it and not in the sense of you must be perfect, but your work is going to be so on it that it would be just awful for you to hide yourself away and do it behind closed doors. Okay?
That's incredible.
Wow.
Honestly, and it's honestly because that is how I felt for a little while,
Mhm.
but I would push it away
Mhm.
and I would make myself small, itty bitty small.
Mhm.
So this is my eyes will go big with this because that is just like
Mhm.
the exact perfect. I mean, this is just spot on with what I'm dealing with currently.
Yeah. Well, this is gonna get better because now the next card, so this is the official like answer to the question card. What do I need to know? And it's upside down wombat, which if you look, turn it right side up, isn't he adorable?
Oh, he is
Right?
adorable.
I know, right? Don't like wombats apparently are little like assholes, but I think they're so adorable. I want one. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, I can. It's like a dangerous teddy bear.
A dangerous teddy bear, yes. But here's the funny thing. Wombat spirit says be at home. Be at home. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean like, well, wait a minute. You just told me to go out and do things and now I'm supposed to go home. No, 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 no. Be at home here. And again, it comes in upside down. Again, I think this is I'm afraid. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I'm afraid. And be at home is be at home within yourself. Be at home within your true self. Be at home with who you truly are. Right now, astrologically speaking, as and energetically, as we move through the next 2 months of the year, what I have read, what I have seen, what I have downloaded from spirit is that we all have to get really honest with ourselves. What do I want? Who's in my corner for reals? And stop obligating, stop, you know, feeling guilty about supporting people that don't support you back. Stop like letting it's almost time for all the light worker empaths to like cut the cord with the narcissists, like big time. And to cut the cord with the narcissist within yourself that's keeping you small because you have to get honest with yourself so that you can truly understand what do I value? What do I hold dear to me? What is in my heart that I need to do because I'm called to do so by God, by source? And then on top of that, act in a way like, in manifesting, we talk about inspired action a lot. Act inspired like, do your inspired action with the loyalty to those core values. That's what being at home within yourself is. Be at home.
That
And
makes
that's,
so much sense.
yeah, because once you do that, you will feel so much better because it's almost like I'm afraid they'll see me, but like what I can see for you is when I'm going to say when, not if, when you choose to unzip the cloaking device and take it off or whatever the invisibility cloak, whatever the hell that Harry Potter thing was, when you decide to take it off, you're going to realize, yeah, there's haters out there, but the majority of what you're getting back from people is so positive. You're going to be like, I spent all that effing time under this invisibility cloak for what? Nothing. Nothing. So I feel like what is going to happen for you when you take the card here and turn it like this, instead of it being like this, when you really get okay with who you are as an intuitive and who you are as an intuitive presenting to the world, that's when life will be a lot easier and feel more comfortable. Like right now, you kind of feel like a square peg in a round hole
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of intuitives around you that are supportive. It's funny because I think if we don't seek out folks that are that want to witness each other's rise in any business, it doesn't matter if it's intuitive or whatever, but if we don't seek out those folks that are willing to not just witness but genuinely be supportive and happy for each other's rise, that's where you run into kind of that poverty mindset energy between intuitives. But if everybody can stay and you can circle up your wagons with other abundance minded intuitives, oh, honey, there is nothing that's going to hold you back. Now, here's the cool thing, your next card is Butterfly, which is transformation is beautiful, which when you pair it with the Wombat, who says you need, I can't even get this either. Go be at home within yourself. Transformation is beautiful. It's owning that transformation. And this is right side up. This is stuff you tell people. It's gorgeous. You may be a hot, sticky, nasty mess right now coming out of that cocoon because it is not pretty. Everyone thinks it's like, ooh, crystals and glitters and unicorn farts. No, it is nasty, gooey shit when you come out that cocoon. But when you wave off the gooiness and you actually get your wings unfurled, look at that business. That is a rainbow of gloriousness right there. And that transformation you're going to find within yourself is beautiful. You're a beautiful soul, Matthew. I think you are the only one not realizing it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're spot on.
You need to like go outside, hose off your wings, and get on with your business.
I may need to literally do that to get the point, but yeah, I mean, you're spot on.
I'm trying. But understanding that, I think the reason that the butterfly card says transformation is beautiful is because a lot of us have this kind of, again, Hollywood idea of what it takes, what it looks like to transform in this metaphysical or new age concept, and it's all this glitter covered bullshit, when in fact it's hard work.
It is.
But it is worth it. Your shadow work, and that's what this is. Transformation is when you go from hating your shadow and wanting to carve it out like some kind of tumor to realizing it's not, that's actually your left kidney. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's there and it's there for a reason. You might need to drink some cranberry juice to make it feel better, but it's there to help you. Your
Yeah.
shadow is not there to be carved out. It's there to be healed and then partnered with and used as data to be like, when you get scared about something, be like, okay, hold up. Why are we scared? What's going on? And is what you're telling me true? Or did you just come out of the basement file cabinet and pulled out the worst possible outcome of something we haven't even done yet based on maybe something that happened when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Because if that's it, thank you so much for the background work. That is awesome. I'm so glad you're there for me because, like, you're like the one keeping me from putting the hand on the hot stove. But in this case, Shadow, we need to move forward and create a new file. And that's not always easy, but it is beautiful because the outcomes, like I said, when you wash off them wings and you turn around and you take off that invisibility cloak and go, oh my God, why did I wait so long? This is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a journey with that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still like in the back of the closet,
But
hiding
are you
behind.
peeking through the clothes yet?
I'm peeking through the clothes at the moment, but
Okay.
everything you said is just like, that's why I'm staring. It's like, oh shit, this is like I just been slapped with reality and the truth and what I've been told but ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just reaffirming. And I like when you said using the shadow and partnering with it,
Mm-hmm.
because that makes it less scary.
Well, I also feel like our shadow is part of who we are. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we are the dark and the light. And if we try to we try to carve away or get rid of or beat into submission, I mean, all of that kind of wording that I see a lot on like um people promoting things like, dissolve your shadow or beat your shadow into
Yeah.
submission or get, dominate your shadow, like all that kind of stuff. It's like, why would you want to, you know, do that kind of stuff to parts of you? Because then you're beating yourself up, you're dominating yourself, you're doing things because it's part of who you are. It's the part of you that, is the lesson curriculum. Like
Yeah.
when you think about it, who's your greatest teacher but your own shadow? I mean, we have teachers. We all know who our teachers are. Usually they're the soulmate. People think soulmates are like, like in the movie Serendipity or some other,
Right.
Harry Met Sally kind of thing. And the fact is, your soulmates are usually your teachers that annoy the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Like, and by teacher, I mean like people in your life that you're like, why are you triggering me? Instead of
Yeah.
going, okay, what are you trying to tell me so we can shift this and be friends again, kind of a thing.
Exactly.
you know? So if you can understand that your shadow is the greatest teacher in your entire 3D life, and you embrace that, and then you say, how can I work with that? And how can I do the things that support a healthy shadow? That's when you start seeing that transformation happen in a less, it's still kind of messy, but in a less like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
can't believe this is happening kind of way. Yeah.
And we
Now,
kind of get stuck with that. I kind of got stuck in that mode.
yeah, I think we all do. I'm not, one of the things is I always am like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have all this down pat because like Darren will out me in a hot minute. He'll be like, she was crying like a flippin' crazy person last night, going, I don't know whose stuff I'm releasing. Maybe it's mine. I don't know. And he's like, do you want cake? And I was like, cake would be good. you know? So
I don't feel so bad. I have those moments too. So yeah.
see, it's all good, right? So I think if we can start understanding that it's okay to have this no, like if we can let go of that whole like perfect image thing, even when we're at home by ourselves, it just helps that transformation be even more beautiful as you go through it. And you can look back and be like, yes, you go. You're awesome. So are you.
That makes so much sense.
And your last card, you're gonna love this, is right side up, it's bunny or rabbit.
Oh,
Okay. And it says now is a lucky time. So I feel like for you, aside from winning with our shindig here, the lucky time for you is I feel like it's the right time because you're in that zone. The eclipses are coming. The eclipses are coming. As Anne says, you'll watch Anne Ortley and she always goes, the eclipses are coming. The eclipses are coming because people freak out for whatever reason. I just am like, oh, it gives you more information to work with. It might not be super awesome information, but at least you know what's going on. I
right.
mean, that's a total Virgo way of seeing things. May not be awesome, but at least you know.
Right.
you know? So the thing is, I think part of the shift that's going on is, I always said that 2020 was like the blow everything up year,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it was like we were all like, "What the hell?" Like for the
Yeah.
first 3 months, we were like, "Yay, let's put signs in the windows and ring bells and
Yeah.
clap and make this a big giant party from the house." And then like we got to like July, and we're like, "Why are we still in the house?"
Exactly.
Right? And that's when like from July to like say the following February was like, "What is going on?" And everything just kind of went nuts on many levels.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just leave it there. But I think then 2022. So like if you think about it from the perspective of like a building in Vegas and like an old casino or something. I don't hang out in Vegas. I don't like, it's kind of dirty to me. But it's a good analogy. So like I just want to, let people know I'm not in Vegas gambling all the time. I've seen it on like documentaries because it's weird out there. Anyway, not I love all my friends that live there, but I don't want to live there. So, but anyway,
I
so
can kind
like
of, yeah.
I went there for a business trip once, and I was kind of like, I don't understand what's going on here. So, but it seemed like everyone was having a good time, so that's all that matters. But like when you watch like those old documentaries about the Rat Pack, right? And they had like the Gold Nugget or some other casino that had been there for years, and then they just on a whim decide, okay, well we need to like get rid of it and put up something else. And what they do is they blow the thing up and then they clear all the rubble away, and then they bring in a bunch of architect guys or ladies, and they, you know, hash out what are they going to make the new building look like and what's going to be in there like that, and just redesign it. And then in like a year and a half later, they open the doors and it's this magnificent new thing. That's kind of how I see the last like 2 years going into next year. And on a whole level, on a collective level, and on personal level, like if you think about who you were in November, this time in 2019, you would go and look at, like, if you went back in time, you would be watching yourself going, what kind of clusterfuck was that? Because I think a lot of us were just living the should, even when we thought we weren't. But I think the last year or 2 years now, that blow up the building, clear away the rubble, and redesign. Like right now, I think we're in that redesign phase where you have an empty blank page, which can scare the shit out of a lot of people. I think that's why you're seeing people freak the hell out right now, because you don't have just people waking up to their spiritual awakening, but you also have people like us that have like kind of known we were spiritual since like we came out the womb, but even we are like blank page. Wait a minute, I've been doing this shit for 50 years. What are you even talking about? So,
Exactly.
right, because that's how I kind of feel. But I'm striving, and encouraging others to see it more as like when you when you go out to the vegetable garden, because I know you plant things too. And you go out to the vegetable garden, you get the little cell packs of tomatoes. And for those of you who are not gardeners, the cell packs are those little 6 packs of plants that you get at the Home Depot. And they're like this big, and you pull it's got one plant and you put it in the ground. That's so you get your little cell pack, and like literally the space that little plant has is like that. There ain't no way you're gonna get you a better boy on a little cell pack. So you got to take that little plant and plant him in a vast garden so that he can grow and bear fruit if taken care of. And we are the same. We're just like really complicated house plants or tomato plants where, and like usually, because I'm a black thumb with anything that you can't eat. If it's a flower, I kill it. I love them, but I literally have my garden in front of my house is probably like 8 by 3 feet, not yards, not acres, feet. Okay, that's my garden in front of my windows. And I hired someone to put the flat plants in and give me instruction on how to keep them alive. That's how bad. But if you give me a tomato plant, my Italian kicks in. I can grow the hell out of a tomato plant and some basil. So if you can eat it, I am good. But here's the thing. When you take the little plants out of the cell pack and you put it either in a bigger pot or in the garden, I don't know about you, but for like a week, I'm like, it starts like wigging out and looking really pathetic. And I'm like, oh, shit, did I kill it? But then after a week, it's kind of like, okay, I got my roots in here. I'm going to grow. And then all of a sudden it just sprouts and goes nuts.
Yeah.
But that's us. We're the tomato plant. Like, what the hell just happened? I was in this cozy little cell pack doing my thing. Nobody was looking at me. I didn't have to do anything. But somebody took me and put me in this ginormous garden. And now my roots are bigger and I have room to grow and I can bear fruit and nurture other people while I nurture myself and continue to grow. And I think we're in that in-between stage where you kind of go, what the fuck is going on?
We're in shock.
Yes. I think even the woo-woos that have been doing this for a while, like you and I, are in shock.
Yeah.
Because of how quickly, and I don't know about you, but processing emotions right now is like you feel like you're a nut. Because you're like, 1 minute you're crying, the next minute you're laughing, the next minute you're pissed off, and then the next minute you're neutral. And all of a sudden, when you're in your neutrality state, which is, by the way, totally okay. You don't have to be anything. You can be neutral. That's totally okay. Trust me, now I'm like treasuring neutral. Because in neutrality, you're like, well, that was weird.
It feels strange to be neutral.
It feels strange to be neutral, exactly. Especially when you're like, did I just process that much crap that fast?
There's not enough hematite for some days to ground me back to where I came from.
You're like, I need to bury myself in hematite.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it's so overwhelming. It's like it's like you're going through a book. You're
Mhm.
just flipping pages as quick as you can.
Yes.
And you get to the end of the book and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yes, you're like, "I think that was a really good book.
Yeah,
I think. What was your favorite part? I'm not sure yet."
exactly. And then when you're neutral, it's like, am I numb? Did I lose something? Have I gone crazy?
Right. Or when the new neutral version of you, that because I already feel like 2022 version me is already talking to me and steps in sometimes, and I think to myself, stuff happens and you kind of go, I should be reacting in a really weirder, like really either pissed off, upset, worried
Yeah,
kind of way, but I really don't have a connection to. I'm like it's almost like the whole concept of detachment.
yeah.
Like you finally get it.
You do, and
And you're
it's
just
like
like, shouldn't I be attached
I've
somehow?
asked myself, should I be angry at that? I mean, I feel like I need to throw a tantrum, but I don't.
Right. And you're
What
like, I feel like I should, but I really don't feel like it right now.
exactly? I need to be mad, but I don't have the energy to spare to be
I
mad.
don't have the energy to spare to be mad. And then the logic mind comes in and goes, and why would you? It's so exhausting and unuseful. So let's just be
Exactly.
like neutral and be okay with it. Oh, okay, that's happening. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah.
good feeling, but it's a strange feeling.
Yes, yes. So that's why I'm saying to you, when I pull all these cards and I'm looking at the whole thing, I'm speaking to the version of you need to let go of. Because 2022 you already knows the transformation is beautiful because they're already there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason Bunny is saying it's a lucky time is because we are in that kind of I'm straddling the fence time
Mhm.
of old you and new you. And if you have faith in the new version of you and the universe as they work together to pull you into that timeline or reality, whatever you want to call it for yourself, and be okay letting go of the old version of you. That version of you doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't serve you now and it won't serve you in the future. And we can thank him for the lessons and thank him for the wisdom, but the fear that is being erased, it's almost like the fear is erased and you're afraid that the fear is gone because you're like, wait, how do I do this? You know,
Exactly.
if you can get it okay in that weird in between space, all of this will work itself out. But you have to start um, loving who you are. You have to be at home with you. Be at home with you, your your transformation, beautiful. Know that that's okay, and it's a lucky time to be doing all of this right now.
That's
Makes sense?
incredible. It makes a
And
lot
then,
of
of
sense.
course, we have the right here, trust in the mystery. Yeah, yeah.
That is very shockingly interesting today
Mhm.
because that's been a huge theme. And you
So
just
go ahead.
yeah, you just put some pieces in place
Mhm.
that makes me feel better.
And from what you were telling me, so this isn't me being psychic to those who are watching. From what you told me earlier, the way that you're kind of easing into being a professional reader and professional intuitive and professional healer, um, be okay with that. Be okay with that. I mean, I literally started on Fiverr because I was not, and this is, 5 or 6 years ago, I wasn't comfortable taking money, and I think a lot of us have challenges with that, like doing that whole
Yeah.
like getting paid for what you do and all this kind of, because there's like a whole contingent of woos that are like blah 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 and they scream about it. But and
Yeah.
also being visible and being out there. I think if you can have a middle person be that support conduit for you, I totally think that that's great. And the more you do it, the more confidence you will build because that's the only way to build confidence is through doing.
Today was my big step.
Yeah.
Today was
And
my big scary step.
I am, yeah, but how do you feel? So like, and you mean about this, right?
Yeah, yeah, just being
Okay.
visible, like being
Okay.
completely visible.
Okay. And how
And
was that for you?
this has been great. This has
Yeah.
really been great. And it helps me to own everything that we talked about.
Yeah.
I have to own it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say this is me.
Yep. You got, oh, that's the song. That's a, I'm big on show tunes.
Yeah,
Get that song, download it from wherever, and just put it like, make that your theme song right now.
that makes some sense. That would help.
I love that. Like whenever, okay, so I'm gonna show my age. Whenever I call my itty bitty shitty committee or my inner critic my IBSC, itty bitty shitty committee, right? And only recently, I have been a Bee Gees fan for longer. Like, I didn't discover them, after the fact. I was there when they released the albums and stuff, kind of time frame.
I'm not
I,
far behind, so I
yeah.
understand.
Um, and I love them. I love them. I love their music. It's always happy and up for the most part. And so Jive Talkin', I love that song. And I finally realized why. And I've started That's My Song when my itty bitty shitty committee is loud. I put Jive Talkin' on because it's a song that basically is like, look, stop bullshitting me. You're
I'm gonna
Jive
add that
Talkin'.
one.
Yeah, I love that song. So Jive Talkin', do This Is Me, and maybe make a playlist for yourself that like when you start feeling kind of iffy, that'll pump you up. I think that's a good plan to have too, is to do the playlist to make sure you kind of stay the course. Reach out, like another thing you can do if you do have those moments of self-doubt is reach out to the people that you trust. Reach out to me, reach out to other friends, and ask and just say, "Hey, I'm having a low moment." And I'll be like, "You're awesome. I love you. You're great." you know.
You always make people feel incredible, though. You always have.
Well, I try. I mean, I just that's my goal is to if we're gonna heal our hearts, let's heal our hearts. Let's get on it. you know.
That's true. Why?
So
Why wait? Why
why
wait?
wait? Time wasted is you don't why. It's rather be happy than down the dumps.
Yeah, it's a state of
So
mind. It's a choice.
exactly. So, since part of our thing was to share openly what a reading is like with somebody like me, or in fact, somebody like you too, um, do you think that this was a good experience for you? Like, if you were going to recommend like booking with me, or even you, if like, how would you describe what just happened? And then how would you encourage somebody to say, like, not to be afraid? Because I think that was our big thing was to dispel and dispel fear, demystify the experience.
First of all, I would say anybody should book with you in an instant, in a heartbeat. I really think that I've always, even when we would work at the shop together, when it was your day, I was like, yes, I know what's going to go down today. It's going to be awesome. It was a good day. So, and on a serious note, on the side of that, you come at it with such an intention to pull the divine spark out from
Mm,
people, and that's what a reading is. It's not telling you you're going to die, or if you get the death card it's over, and
yeah.
the whole thing with the tarot, and it's not like that. And the way you do it is you remind people how divine they really are.
Oh,
And you
oh my God, I'm getting chills. I'm gonna cry. That I love that. It's beautiful.
Well, you pull the divine out, you show
Oh.
them, and you speak into existence a mirror for them to look at, to change themselves and to own what's really there.
Hmm.
So I think that's incredible. That I always recommend you. I'm sharing everything you've got, because I mean, even us being friends aside, I see the work you do. I really do. And for people that are afraid of getting a reading or anything like that, the only thing you have to be afraid of is stepping up to the plate and taking the information that is transmitted from spirit through the reader and creating your life
Yeah.
and remembering who you are. it's not Hollywood Ouija boards and demons and head spinning and exorcist. I mean, if it was, that would make it interesting some days, but it's not like
I
that.
probably would not be doing this if people were like heads were spinning around and there was green stuff coming out of them.
Exactly.
That would be too gross for me.
That's a little too much. That would be a little too much of the edge, but
Yeah.
there's no God's gonna strike you down. It's
Mhm.
an awful thing. I mean, it's a tool.
Yeah. I think like you I love how you put it, it's a tool. It's a tool to support people as they walk the path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that you were the person that decided to come and do this with me. And I know anybody who watches this that is watching to see what's it like to have a real reading with, like, I call us light workers or soul healers, or like you said, the divinity pullers.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to like the whole concept of a fortune teller or some kind of Hollywood thing. This is the way that we do readings in my circle of people. So if this is your jam, I'm glad you're here and watching this video with us to demystify it and take some of the fear and actually bring some joy and fun to it. And I want to say thank you, infinite love and gratitude to Matthew, who is amazing and so brave. And you did so good. This was his first, jump into being a live streamer with me. And oh, that's Puppy. And I'm so grateful that, and honored that you did this with me. And I'm so excited. So you enjoyed your first real live streaming?
I think it was incredible. The reading you did was eerily spot on, even for today. It was
Mhm.
just incredible. But I had so much fun with you, and I'm so grateful that you let me be a part of this. And when you pulled my name out of the hat, I did literally scream. I'm not gonna say I didn't, because I was like, I just couldn't believe it. And this has been the best experience. So who knows what's gonna come from doing this?
Exactly. Like, I'm already having some ideas that if you like kind of hang out when I end the broadcast, I kind of have an idea for you that
Yeah,
that that you know um that we'll just leave in the ethers for the others watching, so that like it's a surprise for them if you choose to do it. So
that sounds good to
alrighty.
me.
So everybody, thank you for joining us. It's about we were gonna go for 30 minutes, but we went way over because we were chatty. But I hope this was a good video for everybody wondering, what is it like to have a reading? How does it help me in my spiritual journey? And like, what's it like for you to come and do this with me? Because I love doing readings. It's one of my favorite things to do. I teach classes and do this other stuff, but the readings, it's like you get down and dirty in there, and
Yeah,
in a good way.
yeah.
And I thank you for being here. Thank you, Matthew, for joining me today. And if you have questions or you want to book a reading, links are below. And I will see you all soon. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. I'm going to end the broadcast. And Matthew, I will see you in the green room, the digital green room. So hang out. Bye, y'all.